Hey there, and welcome to the Remote Career Accelerator. I am super happy that you're here because this means that you chose to move forward with your remote career journey, and for that, I'm super proud of you. Seriously, the fact that you chose to put your time and energy into figuring out how to land that perfect remote job, it shows initiative, and it deserves some respect. So here's to you. You're ready to take control of your future, and that's huge. So before we dive in, I just want you to know something really important. I have been working remotely since 2020, and something that I've learned along the way is you don't have to have it all figured out right this second. You don't need years of corporate experience, or a fancy background, or a perfect resume, okay? But what you do need is clarity, direction, and a system that actually works. And that is what we're going to go over in this course, okay? That's exactly what this course is going to give you, is the perfect system that's going to land you the job that you want. This course is not just about finding a remote job, okay? It's actually about finding a system that works for you. It's all about creating your pathway, your lifestyle, your skills, and outlining your goals for finding remote work, okay? What is your why? What is the reason that you want to find remote work, okay? You need to make sure you are in touch with this before you begin, because whether you're a parent, a student, a career changer, or you're just ready for something that gives you more freedom, you belong here. Throughout this course, I will guide you through everything you need to know, whether you're landing your first remote job or you just want a new remote job. We're going to go over how to identify your niche, how to create a resume that really stands out amongst recruiters, and how to actually apply and interview with confidence and success. But before we go any further, I want you to just stop, pause, and take a deep breath with me. In through your nostrils and out through your mouth. Don't you feel better? Seriously. When it comes to finding a new job or any life change in general, your body's nervous system can get a little excited. So taking a deep breath before we jump in is exactly what you need to do to calm down that adrenaline so you can soak in the information. Remember, this is not just about finding a job, guys. It's about a whole transformation, because you're going to learn how to present yourself in these interviews with these remote recruiters. You're going to learn how to have the confidence you need to get these jobs. You're going to learn how to communicate your value clearly. And finally, start getting those callbacks from submitting those applications, because I know you guys don't want to be stuck submitting hundreds of applications to all these remote jobs and not hearing anything back, okay? We're going to fix that today. Grab a notebook and a pen, or if you prefer, a laptop and an iPad or your favorite tablet, and let's get started. Now, I want to set one clear expectation before we begin. This course works, but only when you do. I've designed it to be actionable, meaning you'll be filling out worksheets, creating templates, and applying what you learn in real time. You'll see results faster if you take one small step every day with every module, rather than trying to do everything all at once. So break this up if you can. Think of it like this. Every lesson you complete is one building block towards your desired future. By the end of this course, you won't just have new knowledge that you could go find anywhere else. You're going to have a unique remote career toolkit that you can reuse again and again until you land that job. Something else before we dive in, let's quickly talk about the tech side of things. To work remotely, you're going to need a stable internet connection. At least 25 megabytes per second is ideal. However, if you have more, that's great. And a reliable computer or laptop. I don't recommend Chromebooks or tablets unless your employer specifically provides these to you. So many remote tools won't work properly on these devices, so I generally just don't recommend them. Also, if you're new to using computers or you want to brush up on digital basics, check out gcfglobal.org, and I'll put that up on the screen for you. It is a free website with easy, beginner-friendly tutorials on everything from email to video conferencing. Remember, a little tech confidence goes a long way when you're working remotely. In this lesson, we're going to talk about the remote job reality check. This is where we're going to get real about remote work, so listen up. Now, I know you've probably seen hundreds of social media posts showing people working on laptops by the beach, sipping their iced coffee, and talking about financial freedom and work-life balance and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, remote work can create more flexibility and freedom like that, but here's what I want you to understand. Remote work is not like a shortcut to the good life, okay? It's actually a shift in your lifestyle. Now, it's a luxurious shift because working from home is a huge luxury, regardless of what you're doing, but it's not just about escaping the office, okay? It's actually about learning how to work differently, okay? Because remote work, you communicate in a really different style than what you do in person. And you have to show up as somebody who can thrive in an environment without supervision. So you can't be like these funny memes out there of these people taking naps while they're on the clock and all this stupid stuff. You can't do that, okay? So before we dive into like resumes and applications and all that, I wanted to make it clear, what really matters in the new way of working. Myth number 1, remote jobs are easy to get. This one trips up a lot of people. The truth is, remote jobs are actually more competitive than in-person jobs. And why is that? Because when a company posts an open role, you're not just competing against people in your local area. You're competing against hundreds, if not thousands, of people from across the nation, if not from across the world. But don't let that scare you. That actually works in your favor, but only when you have the right tools and strategy, which this course is going to give you. Most applicants are not tailoring their resume and cover letter or understanding what makes a strong remote candidate in the first place. Now, once you do, you instantly stand out from the crowd. Myth number 2, you can work from anywhere at any time. That sounds nice in theory, but most of your legitimate remote jobs still expect some type of structure, regular hours, team communications, and reliability. So yes, you can work in your pajamas if you want, but consistency and accountability matter just as much as in any other job. Now, if you're talking about freelance work and other stuff like that, those jobs typically open up more flexibility with, your time that you're on the clock and blah, blah, blah. But we're going to be talking about more of the structured remote jobs instead of freelance work. Myth number 3, remote jobs pay less than in-person ones. This is not necessarily true. Now, some do, especially entry-level or freelance roles, but many remote positions actually pay the same or more than in-office roles because they value your skills, not the location that you work from. Because when you learn how to position yourself correctly, you can absolutely earn a competitive income working from home. Myth number 4, you have to be super tech savvy or have your own equipment to work from home. Nope, huge nope. You don't need to know how to code or build websites or be a supercomputer genius, okay? You just need to be comfortable learning how to use your tools. That's it. Most companies use simple platforms to communicate, like Zoom, Google Workspace, Microsoft. Once you use them a few times, they actually become like second nature. Now, I'm not saying you don't need to familiarize yourself with tech tools such as, Microsoft Office 365, things like that. You need to learn how to use those, but you don't have to, know Python, for instance, or anything like that to land any remote role. In fact, even if you only have a background in like customer service or even fast food, you can still land a remote job. Another thing, you don't always have to have your own equipment. Companies will supply your equipment as long as you sign some type of waiver, or whatever their policy is for letting you use the equipment. But yeah, they'll ship it to you guys. You just have to find the right listings to apply for. Now that we've cleared the myths, let's talk about the reality. And I'm going to be honest here, but also encouraging. Remote work requires a different kind of discipline. It's really easy to romanticize it, okay? Laying in bed in your robe, all that good stuff. But behind the cozy coffee mugs and flexible schedules, there is actually structure, communication, and self-management and self-discipline, okay? Because you are responsible for your time, your focus, and your results on the job. So here's the deal. You don't have a boss walking by your desk, physically checking in with you, which means you have to learn to manage your own accountability. The good news is once you develop that rhythm, working from home, you will never want to go back. Remote work, it builds a lot of independence, it builds your confidence, and it builds a work-life balance that most traditional jobs just cannot match. Let's go over the main types of remote job opportunities that you'll come across. Understanding this early on helps you target your search correctly. So fully remote jobs, which are probably the jobs that you're looking for, these are traditional employee positions that are 100% remote. You're hired by a company, then you receive a paycheck or benefits, and you work full-time from your home. Now, hybrid jobs are where you work partly from home and partly in the office. Sometimes that means 1 or 2 office days per week or per month. Hybrid roles are great stepping stones for people who are transitioning into remote work fully. Freelance or contract work is where you offer your skills independently. Things like writing, admin support, social media management, data entry, design, customer service, and you can get paid per project or per hour depending on the agreement. So freelance and contract work can be a great way to build your experience while you're searching for a stable remote job. And these are great to mention in your interviews. Part-time remote roles are great for parents, students, or people who just want flexibility. You can combine multiple part-time remote roles to build up a full-time income. Now, this is the part that most people miss. When remote employers hire, they're not just looking for skills, they're also looking for traits. Here are the traits that they really want to see. Communication skills. Can you write clearly, respond professionally, and show emotional intelligence over chat or video? Reliability. Do you meet deadlines, follow instructions, and stay consistent without needing constant reminders or micromanaging? Proactive problem solving. Can you figure things out independently or ask for help the right way? Tech comfort. Like I said before, you don't need to be a tech wizard, but you do need to be confident navigating tools, troubleshooting small issues, and learning quickly. Adaptability. Remote work changes fast. Tools, systems, and workflows. The best candidates roll with it and keep learning. I can show you how to display these traits on your resume, cover letter, and applications. And with this, you'll already be miles ahead of the other candidates, so you can go ahead and celebrate. So to wrap things up for this lesson, let's start with this one big truth. Remote work is absolutely achievable for you. It's not a fantasy. It's a skill-based lifestyle. When you treat it with intention, it gives you the freedom and flexibility you're looking for without the chaos or burnout that comes from chasing every single opportunity and applying for it. So your first action step for this lesson is simple. Write down your top 3 motivations for wanting a remote job. And then, right under that, list 3 challenges you faced in trying to get one. You'll need this reflection later on in the course. We'll use it when we start building your daily plan. In the next lesson, we're going to jump into one of my favorite parts of the course, finding your remote job niche. This is where we take your real skills, your experience, and even your personality, and we're going to turn them into a clear direction so you can start applying with purpose. You'll also get access to the 3-step Remote Fit Finder quiz, which is going to be really helpful. You're doing great so far. Keep that motivation level up, and I'll see you in the next lesson.